challenges and hurdles. I'm sure you'd agree in this business climate it is essential for companies to embrace innovation and growth to assure their success. Our guest speaker today knows that firsthand. He and the company with which he has spent his entire career has lived it. I bet you've been watching. In 32 years at ESPN, George Bodenheimer's career path, beginning literally in the mailroom, to 13 years as president and now executive chairman, mirrors the rise of the company itself. In 1979, few knew what cable TV was and fewer had it. But ESPN had a game plan. They didn't know exactly what the future would hold, so they tried lots of things. Innovation, and stuck with what worked. Growth, sustained success. Ladies and gentlemen, George Bodenheimer.
Our first job was as caddies, I should say, at the Innisarden Golf Club in Old Greenwich, Connecticut. Would then say, "Hey, you fellas look hungry." And he would sell us a meatball grinder and a soda for $5. So we spent all day and we'd go home with $2. That was my first introduction to, the golf business. So let's take a look, let's take them in order. First is mission. To really know the ESPN story, you got to go back all the way to 1978. Our founder, Bill Rasmussen, got fired. He was the communications director for the New England Whalers of the World Hockey Association. This predates even when the Whalers were in the NHL, World Hockey Association. And Bill got fired, and then he had an idea. What if he could televise just Connecticut-wide sports around the state of Connecticut? There was nothing that existed like that today. And he began to investigate the possibility of doing that. By the way, he did not have 2 nickels to rub together. He was loading up all the expenses for this startup on his credit card, and a small collection of family and friends handied up as well. He did 4 deals that really were linchpins to the company. He did a deal with Anheuser-Busch for our first advertiser. He did a deal with a number of cable operators to carry this, what at the time was considered a crazy idea, 24-hour sports. He went to the RCA company and leased a satellite transponder. At the time, television signals weren't transmitted via satellite. Today it's common. And that's when he learned that if he plunked down the $35,000 a month, which is what it required to lease a transponder, there was no reason he had to limit his aspirations to a network that would just be in the state of Connecticut. He could broadcast nationwide, which is when ESPN all of a sudden became a nationwide concept.
Yea, verily, a sampler of wonders. Hi, I'm Lee Leonard, welcoming you to Bristol, Connecticut, 110 miles from New York City. Why Bristol? Because here in Bristol is where all the sports action is as of right now. And we're just minutes away from the first event on the ESPN schedule. That's the 1979 NCAA College Football Preview. And then we're going to follow that with a doubleheader of games. 2 of the Professional Slow Pitch League World Series games will be seen tonight. Now, softball is one of those rare sports that everybody knows something about. Why? Because we all play it on Sunday when we drink a little beer. Now, here's another innovation on ESPN, and it's going to be a big part of our future. The Sports Center with George Grant. He'll have the latest on what's happening all around. George?
Thanks, Lee, and welcome everyone to the ESPN Sports Center. From this very desk, in the coming weeks and months, we'll be filling you in on the pulse of sporting activity, not only around the country, but around the world as well. If it takes an interview, we'll do it. If it takes play-by-play, we'll do it. If it takes commentary, we'll do that too. That's the way we'll function from the ESPN Sports Center. We'll be filling you in on further updates as the broadcast progresses.